On the night of Miller's comet passing over Earth, a group of 8 longtime friends gather for what should have been a simple dinner party. The host, Kevin, and his girlfriend Em welcome their guests, Mike, a struggling actor with a temper and a tendency to drink too much, his supportive wife Lee, Hugh and Beth, a couple who balance science and spirituality with Hugh being pragmatic and Beth leaning toward crystals and alternative remedies, and then Amir and Lori, a newer couple whose presence introduces tension since Lori once dated Kevin and still shares an unspoken chemistry with him. From the very beginning, subtle fractures appear beneath the surface of what should be a casual evening. Em, driving to the party, notices her phone screen suddenly cracking on its own, an odd glitch that unsettles her and sets the tone for the strange events to follow. Inside, small moments of unease brew during dinner. Jokes turn sharp, personal jabs linger too long, and Em feels the weight of Lori's presence around Kevin. Conversation shifts to the comet, an awe-inspiring celestial event passing closer to Earth than usual. Hugh mentions he wanted to contact his brother, a scientist who warned him the comet could trigger unusual phenomena, but his phone refuses to connect. Everyone's devices glitch, drop calls, frozen screens, and sudden cracks. The comet may not just be a pretty sight, it might be destabilizing reality itself. Then the house plunges into darkness. The power cuts not only in Kevin's home but across the entire neighborhood, the street bathed in silence and shadows. Only one anomaly stands out. Across the street, there is another house with its lights still on. The unsettling part? It looks exactly like Kevin's house. Hugh and Amir decide to investigate, carrying a glow stick and a note with their names scrawled on it, just in case. The others wait nervously until the two return, rattled and shaken. Hugh has a cut on his forehead, which he dismisses as an accident, but their discovery is far more disturbing. They bring back a small wooden box. Inside are photographs of each of them, taken tonight, with their names written on the back in handwriting that unmistakably matches their own. The implication is horrifying. If these photos were found in that house, then the people in the lit-up house aren't strangers. They are duplicates. The other house isn't just similar, it's another version of theirs, occupied by another set of themselves. The mood spirals into paranoia. Mike, already drunk, grows increasingly hostile and suspicious, accusing Hugh of hiding details about what happened across the street. Beth tries to calm things with her crystal remedies, but the group is too unsettled to listen. Slowly, they start to piece together a disturbing theory. The comet has fractured reality, overlaying multiple versions of themselves and their lives. Every time someone steps outside into the darkness, there is a chance they are no longer in their original version of the world but have slipped into another branch of reality. This explains the photos. They're markers from another version of themselves attempting to track what's happening. The idea that there are multiple Kevins, multiple EMS, multiple Mikes wandering around in nearly identical houses is more terrifying than any monster could be. And with every step outside, the possibility of mixing realities grows stronger. To keep track of which house is theirs, they attempt an experiment. They decide to mark their house with a colored glow stick, a simple identifier to differentiate their reality from others. But when they look across the street again, they see another house marked with a glow stick as well, only in a different color. The implication is devastating. The other group is doing the same thing, thinking they are the originals, making the same decisions, playing out the same scenario in infinite variations. It dawns on them that there are not just 2 houses, but dozens, maybe hundreds, scattered across branching realities all colliding under the comet's influence. Every version of the group is attempting to control their fate, and every group believes themselves to be the real one. As the night deepens, so does the paranoia. Mike unravels fastest, descending into drunken, violent paranoia. He fears the other versions of himself, wondering aloud if they might be stronger, smarter, or more ruthless. The terror of confronting not an alien, not a supernatural creature, but another version of himself drives him into hysteria. At one point he insists they must defend their house against their doubles, that their survival depends on not letting anyone from another reality infiltrate. But suspicion spreads to everyone. If stepping outside means slipping between realities, How can anyone inside the house be sure that the person sitting across from them is really the right friend, the one who belongs? What if someone has already been replaced? Accusations fly, alliances fracture, and the once close-knit group devolves into chaos. Hugh, Beth, Amir, and Lee eventually leave to confront their supposed doubles across the street. Kevin, Em, Mike, and Laurie remain, but the fractures are irreparable. Em in particular begins to notice subtle details that suggest they themselves have already crossed into different realities more than once. Objects are in different places, conversations don't match her memory, and Kevin seems slightly different in his tone or behavior. A horrifying realization dawns. They may not even be in their original house anymore. Somewhere along the line, they might have slipped, without noticing, into an alternate version of their night. The outside world becomes a labyrinth of infinite houses, each slightly altered. Em peers into windows as she ventures into the darkness and sees different versions of the dinner party. One where the group is laughing, another where they are arguing, another where violence has broken out. Every possibility, every branch of choice, exists somewhere out there under the comet's influence. She sees versions of Kevin and Laurie growing close, stoking her deepest fear of losing Kevin to his ex. It is this fear that pushes her into a desperate and dangerous choice. If there are infinite realities, then somewhere there must be one where she and Kevin are still solid, still happy, untouched by Laurie's presence, or the paranoia infecting their night. And if such a reality exists, Em can take it for herself. She decides to find the perfect version of her life and replace the Em who lives there. Stealthily, she enters another house where she finds her double alone. In a tense and chilling moment, she attacks, knocking her alternate self unconscious and dragging her body into the bathroom. Em hides her other self, attempting to seamlessly assume her place in this new reality. For a brief, flickering moment, it seems to work. She rejoins Kevin, acting as if nothing happened, trying to settle into the perfect life she stole. The nightmare seems like it could end if she just pretends hard enough. But reality will not be fooled so easily. Kevin's phone buzzes with a voicemail, and when he plays it, the message is from Em, the other Em, the one she replaced. The revelation dawns on him in an instant. The woman standing beside him isn't his Em but an invader from another reality. The illusion shatters, and Em's desperate attempt to seize control crumbles. She has crossed too many lines, splintered too many possibilities, and can no longer hold on to which reality is truly hers. Morning arrives, the comet fades from the sky, and the fractured realities finally stabilize. Em awakens next to Kevin, hoping against hope that she has succeeded in keeping this new life. But Kevin's expression is cold, suspicious, and full of unspoken knowledge. He knows the truth, that this is not his Em. The film ends on this haunting note, leaving the audience with the chilling realization that the boundaries between realities have blurred beyond repair. The comet is gone, but the damage is permanent. Em is trapped in a stolen life, surrounded by people who will never truly accept her, while the real Em lies discarded, a victim of her own desperate double. The dinner party that began with laughter has dissolved into existential horror, where the greatest threat is not outside, but within, because the scariest enemy to face is yourself. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe for more movie recaps like this one.